when you're talking about small college guys, because I know both of you do your homework as far as what happens at the small college level. When you're someone like either Taylor Boggs last year, Lyndon Rowells this year, all those small college guys out there, what do you think is more important when it comes to how they're evaluated by the NFL, whether it's what they actually do on the field from a production standpoint or whether it has to do with what they do as far as how they grade out, you say in workouts or in a combine type situation, because there's kind of two different schools of thought there, but you guys very familiar with small college players going on and not only having an opportunity to play in the NFL, but having an opportunity to have success in the NFL. Just based on what you've seen happen through the years, are NFL teams looking at what they do on the field or what they do, say, in a combine type situation as far as working out for NFL teams?
Well, to even get in the situation of working out for an NFL team, you got to produce on the field. Taylor Boggs did that last year. Lyndon Rowells has done that for 4 years if you include what he did in junior college and College of the Redwoods. Coming from Division II, you got to be a water walker, and what that means is you got to do everything beyond and be above and beyond. Sorry about that.
We knew where you were going with that.
Yeah. But that being said, those postseason workouts are so important. You got to run well. You got to lift strong. You got to do everything correctly. You have to do something that stands out in order to get a look. It's a tough process. It's a tough process, especially coming from Humboldt State. We're so isolated. I've heard scouts that want to come up here. They think it's an hour or two away from San Francisco, from the Bay Area. All of a sudden, you tell them it's 5 or 6 hours. Oh, we can't get there. So that has a lot to do with teams coming up here, evaluating our players. A lot of times they try to catch us in other places. But I think the body of work of what these guys do on the field, especially when we play FCS teams like last year, Cal Poly, this year, UC Davis, kind of speaks for itself. But at the same time, a lot of times, guys say, oh, it doesn't matter. You guys played in a weaker conference or, the talent wasn't that great for whatever reason. It is what it is. But, you have a guy like Jason Slowey from Western Oregon who a lot of people like in this year's draft class who's going to kick down into a center guard position. Look for him to possibly get drafted in the late rounds.
Yeah, Western Oregon guy who, it's interesting how things work out. I've seen enough of these teams. Taylor Boggs is a much better player than Slowey. But,
I agree.
People come in with things they like. Let's talk about Lyndon Rowells specifically, both you guys. We're talking about a position. We just got this. I'm saying, why are people trading up to Trent Richardson when they can get one later? Okay, talking about the best back in the draft. I'm assuming Lyndon's got his work cut out for him. We're talking about a position that is stacked. As you mentioned, he is a D2 guy. Realistically, what's Lyndon Rowells looking at this weekend?
Realistically, Lyndon Rowells is looking at signing a priority free agent contract. Okay. That being said, whatever camp he ends up going into, they've got a hell of a player. I'm going to tell you why. Something that we did not use him with at Humboldt State in the return game, he's deadly and special in it. I had the luxury of being the offensive line coach and run game coordinator at College of the Redwoods when Lyndon was there, and he was a special kid, And so with every NFL team takes a chance on Lyndon and signs him, they're going to get a heck of a player that can catch the football, that can run the football, that can make people miss, that is strong, that's a solid character guy, that can be a threat in the return game, whether it's returning punts, whether it's returning kicks. And he's a guy that people will love, a guy that'll be solid in the locker room, and you know exactly what you're going to get with him. He's a genuine person that has a tremendous skill set that even you can compare to some of these guys that will go between rounds 1 and 4, but just happen to be on a smaller scale here.
Chudd, you were at the Broncos. Can Lyndon Rowells, can he play at the end? It's one thing to dominate Humboldt State. It's one thing, you're talking about Peyton Hillis. He played at Arkansas. Willis McGahee, he played, at the U.
The U.
We're talking about Humboldt State's not playing the U on the weekend. As sweet as Davis was, Davis ain't the U. Can Lyndon Rowells, is he a good enough football? Let's forget about there's a lot of good locker room guys there. Lyndon's one of the nice guys there, but can he physically, when they strap it up, whether they're kicking him the ball, handing it to him, throwing, can he play it at the next level?
He can, and he has that it factor about him. I believe he has the talent to play there. Will the teams give him a chance by drafting him? I don't know, but I don't think he has to be drafted for him to succeed in the NFL. You've seen guys like Arian Foster.
I mean, pretty much after the fourth round.
Yeah.
Is there really any difference between the fifth, sixth, seventh, and a free agent pickup?
Not really, but I think that Lyndon definitely has a chance, and I would say he has just as much of an opportunity as a free agent as he does as a fifth or sixth round pick anyway, so he's got a shot.
Duke?
For those of you guys who have kind of been under a rock in Humboldt County and have not seen Lyndon Rowells play, I encourage you guys to go on YouTube, go to Google his name, watch his tape, watch his pro day workout, watch the whole nine, and you will see that the kid is special. I mean, the kid can make people miss, go from 0 to 60 and at a blink of an eye. Worked out well in front of 21 scouts and not really good weather conditions down at Sac State in March. But just a special kid. He's working his butt off right now. Got his weight up from 205 to about 215 right now and can run, you know. I'm telling you right now, whoever signs Lyndon Rowells is getting a special player, and that's for sure. Mark my words on that one.
All right, play GM. This is for everyone. Everyone can get in on this, and you can too if you want. 616-3799. Start with you, Duke. You got the mic. You're a GM. Best available or need? What are you drafting?
If we have a pressing need, I'm going to draft the best available person for that need. How about that? Does that answer your question?
You like that response?
Yeah.
Spoken like a true insider.
Exactly. What about you, Tag?
Best available. Best available, because I think there's so many different ways you can, figure out a way to basically satisfy those needs as far as what you need. I've always been a firm believer, try to maybe draft the best player available, because things change all the time. And when you're in a situation where you have an opportunity to get a guy who really kind of maybe stands out compared to everybody else, who really is the best available guy regardless of need, take that guy, because I think in the long run that gives you even more options as far as being able to do some of the things that you're going to need to do in order to be successful.
Chudd, draft the best available player that fits your scheme. If he doesn't fit your scheme, you're in a lot of trouble, because the guy can be really good, but if he doesn't fit the style of play that you want to play out there, then let's say you draft a hard-hitting safety that can't cover, but your team is a cover 2 defense, he's not going to do well in that. So make sure you draft that fits your scheme, but the best available.
Who ends up being the better player, Luck or RG3?
Both.
I'm going to go with mine. And I harken back when the conversation was going on, and this may sound like a knock on RG3 when it's all said and done. It's not trying to be, but I specifically remember the Peyton Manning versus Ryan Leaf. That was the debate. I know people laugh. They think about it now because Ryan Leaf's, I think, sitting in the jail cell. Which one do you go with? Which way? And all I'll say is Peyton Manning, at least since the day he walked on campus, he was a star and he knew how to be a leading man. For RG3, I know he's been a star at Baylor, and I remember seeing him, but he first stepped on to the national scene, I think, this year was really the thing, and I wouldn't be shocked if RG3 became better than Luck, but I just don't see any way Luck turns out to be a bust. I could see it happening, I guess, with RG3. I just don't see it happening with Luck, so.
Look out for Brandon Weed, and I just think that guy has it. He beat all those guys.
He's kind of old.
No, not at all.
He's got 6 to 7 years of good football in him, and that's enough to be, I mean, how many years did Kurt Warner play? But I think he's special. He beat all those guys in college. He beat Luck. He beat Griffin. He beat Landry Jones. He beat everybody they put in front of him. He beat Foles.
The one I agree with Chudd. I think he has a lot more value than people realize.
You know what I see Graham Harrell. I see, Kingsbury. I see too many. I see too many of those, wide open guys who can throw in that system. But
different.
And he's 29. The one I don't get is Ryan Tannehill. If he was such a great quarterback, why was he playing receiver ever at Texas A&M if he was so good?
And his coach got fired this year too. So
they came in. Talk about high expectations at Texas A&M. Vegas had them at like 10.5 over/under. Huge expectations, and Chudd's right. He's out of a job. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for stopping by. Any final parting shots where they can maybe follow the Duke on Twitter? And, Chudd, I expect a full report for it. I expect to see you get backing when I turn on some Pac-12 football this year. And, you and Coach Lee hanging out there on the sidelines.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter, Big Duke. the number 5, the number 0. And then also, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you go ahead and follow some of the new things we will be doing that I will be releasing with my partner Trey Randall here in the next coming weeks. Then also support your HSU Lumberjack.